Once upon a time, in a grand and prosperous kingdom, lived a princess, the apple of her father's eye. The king, wanting only the best for her future, arranged a marriage with a prince from a neighboring land, a match that promised wealth and power. But the princess, wise beyond her years, valued character far more than titles or treasure. She approached her father with a request. "Oh, father," she said, her voice clear and steady, "before I commit my life to this man, I must know who he truly is. Not his crown, but his character. Not his kingdom, but his heart." The king, who cherished his daughter's wisdom, agreed to her unusual proposal. Meanwhile, news of the impending royal union spread. In that very kingdom, a clever girl, seemingly just an ordinary citizen, decided she must take a great risk. She sought out the visiting prince in secret, her face veiled by a simple cloak. "Your Highness," she began, her tone urgent but respectful, "I have come to warn you. The king of that land intends to have you marry his daughter. I urge you do not fall into this trap." The prince, taken aback by her audacity, let out a harsh laugh. His eyes filled with mockery as he looked down at the girl. "A trap? And who are you to warn me? A jealous commoner, perhaps?" He then launched into a tirade, his words dripping with contempt for her and for the princess he was meant to marry. He threatened the girl, boasting that women were nothing more than objects, existing solely to serve the desires of men like him. Just then, a friend who had accompanied the prince stepped forward, his expression troubled. "Sir," he interjected gently, "you cannot pass such harsh judgment without hearing the full story. How can you speak of the princess this way without ever having met her? Perhaps this lady has her own reasons for saying such things, maybe a personal vendetta. Is it not wiser to meet the princess yourself before forming an opinion? It is disrespectful to speak of any woman in such a manner." But the prince scoffed at his friend's counsel. "You are weak," he sneered. "She is just a woman, even if she is a princess. It is entirely unnecessary to consult her on anything. Women are for pleasure, not for discussion." He was consumed by his own arrogance, blind to the wisdom his friend offered. The clever girl, however, stood her ground. Unfazed by his insults and threats, she looked him straight in the eye. Her voice, though calm, resonated with unshakable firmness. "With all due respect, sir," she said, "true strength is not shown through dominance and disrespect. It is revealed through listening, through integrity, and through the respect you show to others. You gain nothing by humiliating someone you do not even know." Her courage was like a bright flame in the dim light. It was so unexpected, so bold, that it managed to pierce the prince's thick armor of arrogance. For the first time, a flicker of curiosity entered his mind. Who was this girl? What gave her the audacity to speak to a prince with such conviction? Days turned into a week, and the time for the formal meeting arrived. The prince and his entourage traveled to the royal palace. As the princess prepared to meet her suitor, she gave specific instructions. "Let them come," she announced to her court. "I will be ready, and let his friend accompany him. Our traditions allow a childhood friend to escort the prince on such occasions." Her calm demeanor hid the intricate plan she had set in motion. The prince's friend, the same man who had defended the princess's honor, was deeply worried. He had seen the prince's true colors and feared for the princess. He secretly penned a letter, a desperate warning to inform her of the prince's cruel nature and his disdain for women. He planned to slip it to her at the first opportunity, hoping to save her from a lifetime of misery. The grand hall was filled with nobles and dignitaries. The air buzzed with anticipation. As the prince and his friend were presented, the friend looked towards the royal dais, ready to find a way to deliver his message. But as he looked, his eyes widened in disbelief. His heart stopped. There, seated on the throne beside the king, adorned in royal silks and jewels, was the very same clever girl who had warned the prince. The girl he thought was a commoner was, in fact, the princess herself. The ceremony began. All eyes were on the princess as she rose to speak. Her voice, once disguised in quiet urgency, now rang through the hall with royal authority. "Esteemed guests," she began, her gaze sweeping across the stunned assembly before landing on the arrogant prince. "I am here to announce that this marriage cannot proceed. A collective gasp filled the hall. This man is not a man to be married, not by me, not by any woman who values herself. A real man, she continued, her voice gaining power with every word, does not judge a woman by her gender. He does not insult or humiliate her to feel powerful. He does not seek marriage for wealth or beauty alone. She then turned her eyes to the prince's friend, a look of genuine admiration on her face. A real man listens. A real man shows respect. A real man honors integrity above all else. The kingdom was in shock, but the princess was not finished. She declared that she would not be a pawn in a political game. She had sought a partner of character, not a tyrant with a crown. In a move that would be spoken of for generations, the princess publicly honored the prince's loyal and honorable friend. She recognized his courage, his compassion, and his deep-seated respect for others. It was not his title or his wealth that won her admiration, but the strength of his character. She chose him, not as a prize, but as a partner who embodied the virtues that truly matter in life: respect, integrity, and the courage to do what is right. The story serves as a timeless reminder to us all. True character cannot be bought, respect cannot be faked, and wisdom will always recognize integrity over crowns. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content that makes you think.